Gage. No.
Get this out of here. I can't eat that. That's all you guys.
That's
I'm not
party
eating that.
mix.
That's Terry.
That's me. That's
You
all
filthy
me.
fucks.
That's all me. All me. Oh, kisses? You blowing kisses over there?
You blowing
Mwah,
kisses,
mwah, mwah.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, okay.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Haha, I got you. Welcome to Hype Scum, the podcast for that beautiful 28 community.
I'm one of your hosts, Steve, at South of Heaven.
I, too, am one of your hosts. Gage, at No Clear Coat.
I am one of your hosts, Terry, on the Discord. Come over to the Rush We Trust Discord. If you're not on it, get on it, dude. I want to talk to you.
You talk on it more than most people.
I know.
How is that not banned on your phone?
It is, but it's a 15-minute timer, so I got to go fast. I'm like Sonic the Hedgehog in the morning.
That's all you need.
That's literally all you need. You don't need to keep up
Totally.
with anything else.
You know, usually I'll save if you guys don't know anything about this timer shit on the iPhone, you get 1 minute. You know, it's like you get the full 15 and then you can be like 1 more minute. And I do that at the end of the day if I have a mini that I want to send. And I send that with my last minute. And then I'll see what people say the next day for the 15 minutes that I check.
Does the upload ever not go through for that last minute?
Maybe.
Fuck.
Or I end up saying the wrong thing. No!
Typo!
It autocorrects to something bad.
Boobs!
Uh-oh.
I didn't mean to say boobs! Oh, no! I meant to say... I didn't mean to say ducking.
Yeah.
The classic.
Ducking. I have ducking autocorrect to fucking in my phone.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I have the...
Just bleep that.
I have the F word autocorrects to F star star star.
That's actually really funny.
You know, you
I'm
gotta...
going to start doing that. All bad words, I replace the first vowel in it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know? Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. What's the deal with Big Dog t-shirts?
They're done. Although, I just saw a whole bunch of them for sale recently, and I kind of wanted to buy one.
Right? Big Dog High Scum shirt?
Yo.
Is that funny
cool.
or is that not cool anymore?
that's cool.
Big Dog's cool.
I remember you used to like those Life is Good shirts.
Dude,
He still does.
you know what?
I've gotten you a couple over the years.
Dude, maybe I'll make a Stone Jaw Life is Good t-shirt.
That's-
that would be,
yeah,
that would be
dude,
the
yeah.
funniest t-shirt. It's just me painting a little little stick figure guy with my round
smile.
glasses,
Yeah.
painting models. It just says Life is Good Stone Jaw. That'd be a really sick little t-shirt or
what-
sticker or whatever.
You could also rip off the other guy there.
What?
Keith Harrington?
Keith Haring?
Keith
The Happy Guys?
Yeah. That I always thought was Life is Good.
Yeah, I mean, same vibe, dude. Same energy.
Dude, life is good.
Life is so good.
Life is tight.
Listeners out there, you're checking in. The vibes are real, and life is good here at the Hype Scum HQ.
I had a big promotion, in my job.
Everybody silently clap.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had my first real day of it the other day, and I'm like, this is really cool. I just got back from a cool show the night before. Everything was awesome in my day. I'm like, dude, I'm really thankful for the universe right now. So then I moved my printer, and I dumped $40 of resin all over my lap and got burns all on my thighs. So
That's what you get. That's what you get for being too
fuck
happy.
the world,
you know?
dude. Life sucks.
That's what you get.
thought
Listener
this was
never
gonna
get too
be-
happy.
I thought it was going to be the story of you saying, how that job was all fucked up the other day. And you were like,
no.
I went to go say something to the project
Yeah.
manager, and then I realized it was me.
I am the project manager. Yeah, Gage. Well, congratulations, my dog.
Man, thank you so much.
Now you can afford a giant printer as a gift.
Yeah.
Yep.
How is this giant printer
Dude,
going?
it's very sick. Speaking of giant printer, did I tell you that we got a inkjet at the house?
You got a printer in your house, dude?
I got a big ass commercial inkjet that
Where'd you get
No
that?
shit.
it was being thrown away from
If there's another one being thrown away, let me know.
I'll let you
Yeah,
know.
dude. Nobody's got money for printers at their house.
Dude, no. And then that vampire Steve and I played vampire the other night.
It was sick.
Oh,
I printed sheets off for it. I forgot what like the speed of those printers. It was like ka-chung, 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 ka-chung.
It's like the M1 Garand
yes.
noise.
I was like, this is awesome.
Watch out. Where do you have it?
I'm gonna just be printing shit now.
In the basement?
In next to my computer. I got a new desk, second monitor.
See, where would I put a printer like that?
I don't know. And let me tell you. So going back to your question, Terry, the big paper printer. I'm like, this thing's awesome. It's big. It's I can do everything, but it's fucking huge. And it's like, what do I do with this? And then the other printer, it's amazing. It's
the
everything
3D
I've ever.
printer.
The 3D printer is in, but it's fucking massive. And I'm like, right now, and I just printed a bunch of stuff for Steve for Flames. The cleanup method. I was looking at like automotive parts washers because it's like.
Oh, geez.
The volume of stuff now is just so much bigger that like I have to look into industrial solutions for this type shit. So, but it'll lead into the main topic of our episode because I had to rearrange so much shit.
You know what? That's a good part of it. But man, sometimes there's things like that. I think about this shit all the time. My father-in-law the other day asked if I wanted to split a log splitter with him, and I said, "I'll buy an axe." I'll buy them all. And you know what?
I have just a little bit of info. After your first tree, you're going to be wishing you had a log.
This is for specifically for firewood that's like we have and it's too big. Because they're just
like a random like 15 pieces every like little bit that you got.
Like I think I ordered. Listen, this is Wood Hour here on Hivescom HQ. I ordered 4 cords of wood and I stacked it and I was going through it and there's some pieces that won't fit into my wood stove and I was like, what am I going to do? So I put them all in a pile and. My father-in-law ordered from the same place, had the same problem, and so he was like, "You want to get a log splitter and split it?" And I said, "I'll just buy a splitting maul from the local Ace Hardware for $40, and then I don't have to have a log splitter anywhere near my life."
I get that.
It's a lot of work.
A tool that you only need for one task.
Yep.
Do you buy special wood?
No, I buy
just pre-dried.
Do you want to spend a Saturday at my house and get rid of the 19 trees that I have been cutting down?
Well,
they've just been sitting there for a year.
The thing about that is transporting all of that wood, Gage.
We have 2 SUVs.
2 SUVs. We're going to fill
That's
wood.
Not that much.
That's
space.
not that much, dude. 4 cords. You know how much? They had dropped it off in a dump truck.
Dude, all right. Tell you what. All right, listen, Terry.
I think I dropped it off
every
in a dump
time you
truck.
come
It was
over.
super cool.
Just you and me. All right. So listen.
All right, listen.
Maybe we'll make a hobby day out of it. We'll trick our friend Steve with a truck to also load up his.
It still isn't a lot, dude. We could probably get like maybe a cord and a half with all 3 of our cars. Dude.
Yeah, but a cord and a half. How much does that cost you?
It's a bird in the bush, dude.
Probably.
I don't know what that phrase is.
What is that? Like $100 for a cord?
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more than that.
So
yeah,
I mean, that ain't worth it to you. Although I will say, when it comes to spending my entire day doing a task, $100 means nothing to me. But $100 saved,
$100
time with
the
friends.
boys,
time with friends.
It's like flying to Adepticon versus driving. I mean, we're driving because we have to bring shit, but
The journey. It's all about the
to
journey.
me, the road trip is
picking up
just
friends
as fun
along the way.
or more fun.
Yeah, and I'm flying because I'm a Scrooge.
Well,
You're
flying because
Scrooge
You're
McDuck.
flying home too, right?
Yeah, flying both ways. I'm
How are you
saying
getting to the
sayonara. Dude, great little $25, dude. You park your car there for as long as you freaking want.
From Bradley?
Bones at Bradley,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Bradley.
I mean,
I don't know what it is. It's like Safari thing, and it's just like an endless sea of parking spots, and you park in like Q3, and then you remember that number, and then the little guy with the golf cart comes by, and you go, "Whoa, wait, buddy, wait!" And he picks you up and brings you to the gate.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. It's pretty sick.
They have one of those across when we were looking at the other studio, the one that was like clearly next to like a crack den.
Yeah, we don't want to be rude or anything, but there were. It was derelict.
It was
Let's
scary.
just say it was a little scary.
All right, so besides parking pass
And stacking wood.
and stacking wood,
what else?
Oh fuck!
what
Damn
have you
it!
been doing?
Shit! I always fall for this shit.
You led me into it.
I know too, and I didn't even think about it. I was like, we're gonna get
Besides
into
all
some
these things
other
that I've been
dumb
doing.
topic. You should go the Steve route and say I haven't been doing anything. Actually, I've been
I
doing
did 100 things.
100 things. So I finished bashing my Demon Lord.
It's
my rat
so
Demon
cool.
Lord. I'm
It's
glad you
so
guys like
cool.
it.
Pictures are of it are on in Rust We Trust, but the work in progress is that Terry was showing. Let me tell you, you outdone yourself.
The face,
Thank
I
you,
wasn't sure if you were going to be
I
able to
was-
get the tyrannidness out of that
right?
head,
I was
and
a little
you
scared.
did so well.
You
that
killed
pointed nose is you did
And
it
the,
so
the
well.
little teeth you put in there was that plastic card.
Yeah, little plastic card teeth.
Dude,
really fiddly, tiny little
SpongeBob
slivers.
buck teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
You're
definitely.
gonna snap right off if you touch them.
Probably. And I'm a little worried about painting it, but you know what? They fall off. I'll figure it out when I get
Mod
to
Podge
it.
the shit out
Yeah,
of it.
we'll work it out. It'll all be good. So I took we talked about this. I took a Vermin Lord sculpt from It's Whatever. I took
Shout out.
big fuck off sword from Cole,
Shout out.
and some of the parts I kept the same, but I wanted to do a head swap so damn bad, and I didn't want anything like rat related, and so I used a Tyrannid head, and because it was like the size was
It's the right scale, yeah.
It's
But-
the birthing one. Turvagon?
I thought it was a
It's got a bunch of eyes.
hive tyrant. Pretty sure it's a hive tyrant.
It's because it has the antenna one, so I don't think.
I think there's
Oh,
a
it
hive
did have the
tyrant. I
antenna.
thought there was a hive tyrant variant head, but maybe I'm wrong because there's a million in that bucket.
Yeah.
Well, I had
Anyway.
it. And I also was just like, dude, using Tyrannid bits, they are all so awesome, but they are also just so hard to take the Tyrannidness out
It's
of.
a very distinct image. Yeah.
All the little like pits and pops and little like claws sticking out in like the perfect spot. You're like, that's Tyrannid claw,
Yeah.
or that's a, so the Tyrannid, it's the same way. There's all these like little pits perfectly put into the jaws and stuff. It has all of the plates on the head. It looks like a freaking Tyrannid. So I had to go through. I did some green stuff sculpting. As Steve said, there's like a rat nose that kind of sticks off towards the end. And then I made some teeth jutting out of the bottom with plastic card. I carved off of the horns from the Tyrannid and put on the horns that came with the Vermin Lord set. But I did them kind of strategically. I didn't realize how many freaking horns the Vermin Lord has.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's a little too much, I think it's a cool sculpt, but there's like 12 horns on the Vermin Lord. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah.
So mine has 4, and I think it looks pretty good. And then I've been doing, with my demons, I did squirt some hot glue, mash in some cotton ball, let the hot glue firm up, then pull the cotton away until whatever's left over is whatever's stuck in the hot glue. And then I mat that all down with glue and water. And then I pick at that with like a pointer tool. And so I give it like a real like kind of dreaded and gross sort of appearance, like this kind of matted, nasty fur. And so I created this kind of mane around its head with that.
Where did you come up with that idea? Anything inspire you, or was it just?
I don't know. I think it was just fucking around.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to just, I didn't want to, I didn't want to use the little, on the back of the blood letters, how they have those like spikes that come out of the back?
Yeah.
I think those spikes are cool, but I wanted these rat demons to look different, and I,
think
had
it
to
adds
fill
a
the
layer
hole.
of like this is a rat,
Right?
like the fur
Yes,
adds to it.
absolutely.
I think so too. And it's really easy with hot glue and cotton balls.
Love
so.
hot glue.
Yeah, so I just kind of squirted that, filled in areas, and then it all kind of came together. I'm really excited. It hasn't been primed yet. Primer's going to bring it all together, and I think it's just going to look so insane. And it's holding the ball from the Vermin Lord set, like a little crystal kind of ball from the Vermin Lord set.
It's weird stone.
Oh, sorry. It's weird stone. It had all these like, runes and everything. I kind of filled in. I made sprue goo. That's a thing. Sprue,
Nice.
Oh, you made
sprue
some?
goo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fill in all the runes and make it like a flat one.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to be. Yeah, I wanted the orb to be flat, and I also filled in all the runes on the Vermin Lord itself, just because
Real
I thought
Eye
it
of
was really
Sauron.
like busy. Yeah, and I want to, because I want to paint that, and then I want to use like gloss Mod Podge on it, so it just looks like this gross gleaming.
be
ball.
pondering?
Yeah, he's
Pondering his orb.
He's gotta be pondering. So I did that. And then I went on a real tear. I've been super inspired by the Regiment's campaign, like so inspired. And you actually got me inspired too on Grim Dark Future, just by mentioning like I think it might be like a second edition Warhammer 40K.
Well, I don't think it's. I think it's more like the model count and like what stuff is actually good is what.
but even
emulates
just that mentioning that got me stoked on it for some reason. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll try this out. That sounds pretty cool. And so I was like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do a Grimdark Future campaign. So I've been trying to like whip this up, and I've just been having fun like hand drawing everything for the, flyers, for the save the date, for the campaign. And I've been kind of drawing up all these things to just have this campaign packet that are mostly stolen from the Regiment's packet. But I hand wrote them, and they look cool.
It does look
so they're
cool.
slightly different.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. And then the third thing I've been working on is I've been creating a zine to sell at Adepticon just because I want to have some walking around cash.
Beautiful.
And so,
Buy some models.
Buy some models, buy some lunch, and so I'll just be selling zines if I can get it all put together. But I have a couple of cool interviews lined up that I won't mention just in case they fall through. And there'll be a few other things in there, some hobby things. I think it'll be neat. It'll be very hand-drawn, super, DIY looking. So I think it'll be neat to kind of throw on the table and just kind of keep in the backpack and sell them for $5.
What do you mean keep them in the backpack? You put them at the table.
Yeah, but I'll be walking
Come to the
around,
Hive
dude.
Scum table.
I got to do a little backdoor deals, though. Like a little like security guards looking, and I'm like, dude, I'm over here selling $5, dude. Thank you.
He's just behind our own table.
Hey, you didn't pay the table fee? Oh, shit, gotta run. Just running.
It's just
running
me yelling
through.
at Terry.
With a gun.
I did pay the table fee, but I'd be just running through Adepticon with a backpack swinging back and forth.
Zines flying out behind you.
He didn't pay the table fee. Get him! Just 40K players trying to trip me and beat my ass because I broke the rules. Yeah, you broke the rules. End him. Wow.
This is a crazy caricature of an event.
You don't think that 40K players would be like, oh, this is a bad man. Let me tackle
This is my
him.
opportunity.
This is my opportunity to be a hero.
The real freak Jim Hammer guys, for sure. For sure would just
stop that man.
Yeah. Get a picture with me, like, getting this guy in a headlock. Like, I saved Adepticon.
It'll be Happy Gilmore, the guy with the nail in his head or whatever. I think that jacket belongs to Happy. Just chasing me down. Yeah, I think that'll probably happen. In my head, that's exactly how it goes down.
I think it's going to happen.
Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. Gage, what have you been doing?
Well, the other day, you also played a game with Tyler.
I did, yeah,
Dark Tyler.
So,
we had a blast, dude. We were going so fast.
how did that day come to be? I think we all
just happened to have the day off.
Terry and
I was sick.
Terry and I played.
Me too.
Terry and I played
was
hooky,
really sick.
and then we all
I was
came to the
sick,
studio.
Gage. I had the suds.
Yeah. We were all sick with the same
Thank you.
illness for the day, and came to the studio. So Tyler was here, and we just had a fun little day, dude.
Oh, it was great, dude.
It was the first print. I just got the first print off of the new printer. I wanted to see how truly big this print bed is.
Yeah.
And I believe his name is Fabizel. Fabizel. I'm just gonna keep saying it that way. He's a Chaos Dwarf sculptor. Story goes, he over the last 2 years or so, I believe, was sculpting models, charging for them each week or whatever a model would come out. He would charge for it in order to get money for.
Wasn't he was having a kid
He was
or
having
something?
a kid, and he was trying to raise money for it. And then after the kid was born and everything was good, he just released everything for free.
Yeah. What a
And they're
god.
sick.
And they're sick. They're an Old Hammer Chaos Dwarf style sculpt. And I pretty much printed the entire collection on one build plate on this new printer.
so insane.
It was insane. And I printed stuff that I only use. I didn't get like a crazy amount of things. And because the goal is, because I'm not in the regiment's campaign, I just wanted to casually kind of be in. I've been like the punching bag NPC for most of these games, but
They count towards the campaign.
spiritually. Or,
yeah, no, I mean that's fine. I just wanted to do it like if I'm gonna have a real lore, I wanted to like come up with it, and I wanted these Chaos Dwarf models to kind of be the base for it, but dude, it was just like the inspiration of the boys being around. I blasted some texture paste on there.
Oh, it was
and,
awesome.
Just primed and zenithalled with a different color, and I had 1,000 points with 2 colors on it, And it was just like, oh, Terry, you want to play a game? And you're like, you're sure. And then you broke my heart and played with Tyler instead.
Well, because they couldn't play.
That was a different day. That was a different day.
No, that was the same day.
Same day. You
Same
guys,
day.
well, because Tyler and Steve can't play together because they're allies. In the
Correct.
campaign.
Yes. So
We had to split up.
That's not true.
Oh.
Tyler just said that. He didn't want to play with me.
Tyler me and
hates
Tyler had a very fun game. Where
Yeah.
It was very lighthearted and goofy.
yeah, you guys were having a blast, and I was like, yeah, I'll play Steve. And we played with the advanced rules for the cards, the objective cards. It is exactly what I was complaining about last episode that the game was missing. Those cards made it for me. I think when we finished, I literally said, oh, this is a game I will now recommend to people because of the cards. The cards make it so it's not just like, if you deploy bad, you're just fucked. And you're like, oh, cool, I forgot that these units that I'm directly across of will just destroy this one unit that I put here. Or like, oh, I got counter deployed and now I just lose. And I know I lose. And that's my problem with army games in general anyway.
Yeah.
The counter deploy, the counter, like
the game's
rock,
lost
piece,
before
paper.
you even started. Yeah, and that is such a feels bad, especially like I've always been complaining in every episode. If I'm going to spend my next hour or plus playing this game, and I know I already fucked up because I put a toy down in the wrong spot,
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm so mentally checked out, I don't care.
That's how, I mean, I get that same way when I play a game with a clear objective. Like the objective is obvious what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know your list is better at doing the thing. It's like, oh, cool. So I'm going to play an uphill battle this entire game.
Yep.
Probably get annoyed throughout the course of it because it's already a dice. It's a chance. It's a chance game. Like none of that feels good. Whereas the cards, it's like, well, I don't even have to play your game. I'm not playing your game.
Yes.
I'm playing my own game.
Right.
And you're just in my way.
And I like how they did it, which I think was directly lifted. I don't know if this was an old edition.
It was definitely the Maelstrom cards from like old editions of Warhammer.
It was, so the objectives, so the cards will come up and you randomly get them, and then it'll say like, okay, this objective is worth this amount of points.
Yeah,
this
you play
round.
with 6 objectives on the table,
Yeah.
and then you get a pile of cards. We each technically should have our own decks,
Right. Yeah. We were just
but we
shuffling.
shared 2 decks in one. Or no, we just took half the deck, but it's essentially 2 decks mixed into one, and we were just drawing 3 cards each.
And it would, and like one of them would be like, okay, win a melee by 3 wounds,
Yeah.
or it's worth 1 victory point, or win it by 6 and it's worth 2.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to try and play for this rather than go, okay, well, or like capture objective 4 this round.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that's not actually where my unit was going to be going. But now that I know, like, unit or marker 4 is to the left, now that unit's going to go over there because it's going to be worth 2 victory points compared to me just getting stomped on by a unit.
And then how did you guys do? You just add up all the victory points at the end, and whoever has more wins?
Yes.
Yeah,
Along with objectives?
Each objective marker at the end of the game is worth 1 point, and then each card is worth either 1 or 2 victory
Okay,
points.
so you just kind of collect them as you go.
Yeah.
You kind of keep track of them. All right, because me and Tyler started playing with them and then realized at turn 3, oh shit, we forgot about the cards.
Yeah.
And then we said, we'll just go back to playing the old way. So now I'm kind of interested in playing with the cards, though.
They're very fun.
I really liked it. And it felt very Age of Sigmar to me, which is kind of, that being my preferred game, this game felt like it was missing it. So I really, really...
Sweet.
Everyone should play with them, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that's going to be what I do for the tournament at Under the Dice Fest and potentially Adepticon if I can scrounge my shit together to run a tournament there. But I think it's the best way to play. It's like it's not like balanced is the wrong word, but it's not such a, oh, we're playing an objective based game out of the book and like your army's better at doing that.
Well, it's like you said, if you know it's an uphill battle, no one's gonna have fun, and especially when you're in like a con setting, you're like, cool, I flew out.
I'm spending 8 hours playing in this event.
I'm spending 8 hours playing this event at a convention where I could be seeing other friends or doing literally anything else, and I know I lost because of deployment. It's like nothing can feel worse than that.
Yeah, I lived it in that kill team tournament.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, so to make it anything more fun, or like, oh, okay, cool, I lost because
I played wrong.
Yeah, I played wrong, or the cards were just not in my favor, or like literally, or anything.
Or your opponent cheats and has more attacks than they're supposed to.
Well, we won't talk about that, but
Wow.
I think for the first combat, so listeners, I blatantly cheated in my game with Steve. the first combat we did, I had my Great Boar Riders. I read the stat block correctly, and then for whatever reason,
you misinterpreted what it meant.
The rest of the game, every combat, they were supposed to have 3 attacks. I thought it was 3 attacks each.
Oh, so you're no.
So I was rolling 9 dice.
You were doing 3 attacks each per weapon. You were doing the tusks as 3 attacks and their regular weapons.
Because I was going to say, if it's attack 3, then they would all have.
Yeah,
but
I was reading it like an Age of Sigmar thing.
So he was doing like 18 attacks.
Yeah,
for the
very cool.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this unit rocks.
Well, that's why I put them like where I moved my unit right in his face to contest an objective, and it's like my big ass unit of knights with a hero. Like when they charge you, they're probably going to kill you. I put him right in his face because I couldn't reach him, and I was like, yeah, he'll charge back. He's not going to kill the unit, and then he did kill the unit, and I was like, oh
no,
whoops,
These Boar Riders pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll definitely have to play again, but even with that fuck up, nothing felt like stupid or bad or like about the game. So I was excited about it.
Dude, and you're like the 2-color paint job that you just did, like the basing material was still wet.
We were literally mushing around the artillery basing while playing.
But it looked good, and I was like, damn, dude, that red is such a nice base coat color to go off of for the Chaos Dwarf.
Well, because I like poking fun at the other people that are officially in the campaign that are not painting or anything. I wanted to just hit a dry brush and be like, look, I finished all this army in an hour. But it was...
What's your excuse?
Yeah. I didn't want to be too toxic that day. But I will say the colored Zenithal, even if you're not doing like the Doom and Apathy method or anything like that, just a colored Zenithal adds a total different layer of...
Well, then your shit's red, dude. It's red all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, okay, well, they're Chaos Dwarves, so I guess I'll paint the skin, the hair, and the ground.
And then I'm fucking done if I want to. Yeah.
Same thing with orcs. Like, I primed all those orcs. I did an undercoat black, top coat of, like, a medium green, and it's like, you can put those on the table. You dry brush those weapons, like they're done.
If you're looking to play, then sure, why not? You know what I mean? Then you can shoot through it. This is just what we were saying. You can shoot through all your shit while it's happening, but at least it looks on the table like it's painted armies playing against each other, and it's not just gray plastic.
That was Paul pointed that out that time. The one time I played War Master with him, when I showed up to play War Master, not realizing that I needed double or I think triple the amount of models that I had because I misunderstood how the units worked.
Yeah.
And we had the fake markers, and they were like bright green filament, like, unit fillers. And I was like, dude, give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes to paint these. And, I primed them teal, like made them kind of match what my army color scheme was. Came back to the table. He goes, Steve, that was worth the 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then the final thing I've been working on is my boyfriend and I, Big Boy Game Time, finished up the supplement for his zine boss fight.
Yeah.
I can't spoil too much about it, but I made 2 classes. 2 classes for his game Bloodwork.
Oh, that's not a standalone supplement?
It is. Well,
it's like not his own booklet that it goes in his boss fight zine?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That looks, dude, it looks awesome. It looks so cool.
The zine is sick. There's an interview with Miscast. Shane did a thing for it, the blind man. I don't know. It's going to be sick. But same thing, physical only. I think he'll release the PDF later on.
If you're down, he'll probably, if you message him, he'll probably just show you it.
Wave some money in his face.
Yeah, if you're down,
If you're down.
Only if you're down. Only if you're down.
If you're down. Get down.
That's even it.
Down.
I'm hyped to paint, but the other thing I've been doing though is the main topic. So we'll get into that.
Well, we did play Vampire, and we're playing Vampire again on Saturday.
We did play Vampire, yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade?
Yeah.
5th edition.
5th edition, dude.
I don't understand half the rules, but dice pool, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Powers, don't really understand them. It all feels narrative. It all feels like there's probably a real mechanic that a real vampire head would be pissed that how we're playing it, but it works great.
So I went back so for listeners, we're playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I really like that system. The layout of the book sucks ass bad.
It's like a GW game.
It's worse. It's very pretty to look at, but it's not a flowing thing if you're trying to make a character. There's an app on the iPhone. It's the only app on an iPhone. I think it's on Android as well. Just use that instead. That being said, everything we did was correct.
Oh.
The only thing that we did wrong, and it wasn't wrong, it was just something we have to touch back on. Your character did a bad thing.
What'd I do?
You did a bad thing.
What thing?
Towards the end of the session.
Which thing? Because there were a couple bad things I did.
Do you want to talk about your character for just like a 2-second thing?
Yeah, give
about
us
your
an
character?
elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Dutch
Nader.
Dutch Nader. He's a Brujah. I described him as like Tyler Durden from Fight Club with like a leather jacket.
All right.
Real mischievous.
Ooh.
But he's friendly. He's friendly with the other vampires.
Yeah.
But he's real like making jokes, like fucking with everyone all the time. And he's a bad guy though.
He's a bad guy. Brujah's clan.
The trait is like violence, like tempered violence.
Yeah, violent temper is your trait. So Steve was acting accordingly.
I rolled a dice anytime a violent type of situation came up, and it's
you did
odds it happens the bad way, and evens I keep my cool.
So I resurrected my old Hartford by Night campaign.
Nice.
And keeping it canon because Lucian has played in every session that I've ever played, and it's fun because it's like real but not at the same time.
I love that there was other lore going on that I don't know about,
Yes.
but Lucian did.
Yes.
And then there's like a character from...
And he's able to tell you that in game.
Yeah.
And that's what Vampire does so well, where it creates these webs of like, okay, well, Lucian's character knows these 5 things, and he's only going to give breadcrumbs to 2 of them, and he's not even going to talk about the other 2 or whatever. We had a character that left the campaign that knew a major plot point, but they weren't in it, so Lucian's character never got to know what it was until that last session we figured it out. But Steve's character, at the very end of the session, they broke into this burned down house to find out what was going on in there. And
Preface this, there is a van in front of the house that we thought were FBI agents.
yes, yeah, they think that there's FBI agents. They go in, and Steve's character is reacting violently because these people don't know what's going on, and smashed a guy's head in and killed him kind of almost immediately. Turns out
That was an accident.
they work for ServPro. They're just cleaners of this.
Oh, no.
They were nosy cleaners, but
Oh, jeez.
They weren't going to be allowed to live after they
Yeah.
saw what they saw.
correct. Which is the moral gray area of all these games. That's why it's
Yeah.
fun.
I did feel bad, though.
And I'm glad you did, because that's the only thing we didn't get to touch on, is your character loses a bit of humanity with that.
Oh, yeah. I
So
kind of
that
figured
mechanic
that was
we
happening.
have to we're going to have to go over and make sure that your character goes one down. And if you go too far down in humanity, you become just a
Vargeist.
literally.
a freak.
Yeah.
You become fucking Nosferatu.
Yeah. Not Brandon's character Nosferatu.
Oh, not that. No,
not horny Nosferatu.
Dude.
There's also a clan Nosferatu.
Yeah.
There is. He's playing Nosferatu.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, what do I
I
talk
love
like?
the Nosferatu
Yeah.
clan.
Dude, Terry, when Gage wants a break and the group goes north to Holyoke and Springfield, you're coming back.
Dude, you got to
Yeah,
play.
I would love
or
to
your
play, dude.
character at
Yeah.
least
Yeah.
is coming back.
No, yeah, I would love to play. A session or 2 would be really sick.
Yeah, I'm running 6 people Saturday. I think 4 are new players.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't even matter.
No, it
it's
doesn't
so
matter.
fast to make. We made our characters in what, like 30 minutes?
Yeah,
Not even.
and I'm not going to
Yeah.
have any of the more in-depth mechanics even matter for those people.
Are you
so.
going to have like pre-made character sheets so people can just come in and like do a random name thing and like?
I have most of. I'm going to have the player's guide again, and I'm just going to like, okay, what clan do you want to be? What do you want to do with this?
Kinda
or that?
speed roll
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'm just going to use the app so they go through it in the right way. Advantage and flaws, I think, isn't really even going to matter for.
Yeah, and then I'll be
for
there.
the session
Lucian will be
long.
there.
Yeah,
We can help.
I think
everyone.
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, listener, your
Ryan
flaws
seems
don't
stoked
matter.
about it, which is cool because it's a new friend that like we knew from music and from other friends, but like didn't realize he played role playing games where he plays D&D every week.
right,
Yeah,
And-
the freaks are everywhere.
no pun intended. New blood in any game is always. It just makes it.
No, totally.
He's going to make some decision that throws a wrench into everything, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god, what do
Didn't
we
see
do?"
that one coming.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
I like that too because that's the kind of shit that makes like player characters fight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you. I kill his character.
Shout out Stephen J, I think, is who originally posted it. I mean,
Steve Jackson?
Steve Jackson Games.
in the Discord.
Oh.
They came up, I guess their GM did a cool thing where it was like...
Are you talking about the liminal horror guy? The guy that was talking about
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but that was
I think it was
cool.
Stephen J. So if you, like Terry, you're going to keep Steve out of the closet for 10 minutes in this session. And if you do, you're going to get a reward for it. That is a perfect narrative hook.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, in that case where it's like, okay, I'm going to tell Grease, make sure Steve doesn't kill an NPC for the first 10 minutes of the game, and then we'll...
Well, think Kevin would have had more going. Like, he might have done a little bit more in that basement.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Hey, let me go first. Let me go first.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and then you're going to be like, well, why? What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck you.
And then it creates this tension and
I
moral,
think all this conversation, though, specifically happened in the Scum Rags channel.
which you can have access to.
Oh, yeah. This is a good, yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is
Head on over to patreon.com/Hivescum and join our Patreon, and you can get into the private channel and hang out.
That's
And get more episodes.
And get a lot more episodes. There's a lot
How
of
many episodes are we at? 54? This will be 54?
55, and we started putting episodes up there like in the early 20s or something like that. So there's
it had to have been earlier than that.
Maybe. I have no idea, but there's definitely hours of Hive Scum on the Patreon now at this point. And it's crazy to think how quickly that crept up. Like, literal hours. Probably, I don't even know how many hours.
At least 10 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
No, definitely
least
more than 10
hours.
hours. If they're a half hour each.
Every 2 weeks, you get an extra half hour of fucking Hive Scum.
Yeah.
And it's not the hobby stuff that you get here. It's everything.
Yeah,
you get
wild bullshit.
Yeah.
You
get the Hive Scum experience.
Anyways, head on over there. You know what I mean? Join us. Join us. Yes.
But I really liked it. I was having a hard time like conceptualizing it as a player of like, well, or like as a DM, I guess, of like, because it feels so gamey. It almost like pulls me out of the role playing element. But I think it's cool because it makes you think like, okay, how do I role play this?
Yeah,
thing?
you definitely would have to make it a way where you're not spoiling it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I said at the beginning of the session, Kevin, make sure Steve doesn't kill the cleaners.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, wait, there's cleaners?
Yeah.
And then the second there's like any NPC introduced, he's going to be like, what's your occupation?
Yeah,
Are you a cleaner?
But you say a general statement, make sure Steve doesn't kill anyone.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
Every situation Kev's going to go in like, whoa.
Right. Every convention, that's what Terry tells me to do.
Yeah.
Don't kill anyone.
Yeah, make sure Steve doesn't
No
kill
Russia.
anyone.
No Russian.
One job. Don't let Steve
At the end, you get a vegan treat.
That's it. Yeah. Terry
you'll
gives
get
me
a cupcake out of it.
Yay.
Now, could you pass somebody like a objective on a card? kind of thing?
Absolutely.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Don't let
little
Steve
handouts
kill anybody.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you got that planned for Saturday.
I will now.
Yeah.
I have a very long drive tomorrow, so I'll make sure of that.
You get 2 victory points if you can hold this
your
objective.
vampire-
No, I want an AK-47 reward. I want something cool.
Daddy wants a gun.
Ooh, a gun.
Ooh, a gun. A little treat for me.
Daddy wants a gun.
Yeah, it's
cool.
A statement said all across America.
Anything else you've been working on?
That's been it.
I just realized you guys have the same hat on.
Yeah, we do.
I feel
Yeah.
left out.
Dude,
You want to borrow it?
there's
No,
multiple
because then you would be left out.
There's multiple times we'll show up or like working a con and I'm just like, fuck. And I'm like, I gotta tie my hair up and just put my hat away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Wearing the same
beautiful.
shirts.
Yeah. We're just wearing our own merch.
Yeah. Anything else you've been working on, though?
No, I have
Captain?
not.
What have I been doing? I've been doing shit. I've done been doing shit.
Yeah, you have been.
Well, we went to TotalCon. I say we. It was me. I went, and it was.
I went.
You went that Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went there Thursday to set up
Yeah.
at 11 a.m.
Yup.
and the room I set up in was not allowed to be opened. So I went there a whole day early to not sell anything.
That's cool.
And it was awesome. It was so cool.
That's cool.
That is fun.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed. The whole experience was like, it was a grog board game convention.
It's a convention
Yeah,
for
yeah,
old board gamers and old RPGers.
Yeah. or new people that play those things.
Specifically those things. Unfortunately, while I was there, I think there was maybe one wargamer that came to the booth.
Yeah.
Ever.
And he did buy used models.
Yes.
He bought like $70 in old Imperial Guard tanks. Yep. I spent days bagging, pricing all my Warhammer nuance sprue.
You'll be good for the next con.
Yeah. If I bring that to Adepticon, I'm sure that bin will be empty.
Adepticon tag sale would be pretty cool.
Listen, you know what? We'll just say it right now. Yeah. You want to bring your shit to fucking Adepticon? We can do a Grimdark Hallway flea market.
The Grimdark domain.
Yeah. Hit me up. We'll figure something out. We'll get a time. I'll make a little flyer. Terry will make the flyer.
Make the flyer.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. We got to put more work on Terry.
Terry, we need a flyer.
Oh yeah, I gotta feed the cat, and I think.
Oh, my fish is drowning, dude. I gotta go.
It's snowing out, actually, dude. I gotta
leave again. Snow.
This is piling up out there. I'll see you guys later.
But yeah, the con it was all right. I was really bummed I wasn't in the alcove that Brian was in. Brian had a great spot in the central hallway. He could stay open all night, whatever time he wanted. The vendor hall's closed at 9 officially, but the games went until 3 a.m. Yeah. So if you were in it, if you're I'm staying at the con all night, you could keep your little booth open like we do at Adepticon and just rip it.
Every time I went to the good bathroom, dude, you had to walk
down
past,
that hallway.
You had to walk past the hallway of all the
RPG rooms.
There's 7 RPG rooms.
They were board rooms with multiple tables in each room.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a very sick layout, actually. Dude,
Hyperborea room was sick.
Every single time someone was there, everyone was laughing their ass off, or everyone's having a blast. I was like, wow, this is not a normal Normally, when you see those tables, people are just really into it, or just quiet, or whatever role play. But everyone was so animated there. I call it the good bathroom because the bathroom that was next to the thing. The second I got there, I said, "Oh, Steve, I'll help set up in a second. I gotta go pee." I get in there, and there's a dude shitting his organs out. Gets out of the stall and then just leaves.
Doesn't wash his hands.
No
wipe.
And I'm like, that guy's about to run the best game of his life. I could tell, dude. That's just that vibe of the con. These old men, just no hygiene at all, but
that's a professional.
They're in it.
It's so funny because the first time I walked in there, a guy was at the urinal a foot away peeing into the
Olympic
urinal.
peeing.
Dude, but he's just ripping ass, audible ripping ass.
Real dad shit.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's what my character would do.
Yeah. My barbarian pisses a mile away from the urinal.
It's about my immersion.
But, it definitely wasn't a con for me to be at.
I don't think so.
Not all cons
at all. Brian did really good. I made my money.
You made table.
I made table. I don't think I covered my costs of
gas.
I spent $100 driving there and back because of how far it is. Which you can't really factor that
because you're going to the con.
I wouldn't have factored it if I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I didn't have a ton of fun, so it's okay, $100 in gas. My food each day.
We saw that cool musical.
That was cool. Yeah. That was legit. That was Vampire Freaks doing they had a movie musical in the background being played on a projector, and then they were acting out the scenes.
What? That's cute.
It was okay, let's go point and laugh at nerds. And then we walk in there, we're they're so in it. No, this is sick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We should do that at Under the Dice Fest with the Mummy.
Yes. Now we're talking. And Phil gets to be Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
All right.
Brandon Fraser.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser.
Yeah.
I want to be the Mummy.
I want to be
the tornado.
I want to be Rachel Weisz.
Who's going to play... what's his name?
And I want to kiss Phil.
Okay.
I want to be the
Benny.
I want to be the scarabs.
Ooh, no, you want to burrow into the
just running around with a little shell on. I'm scary.
Wait, you come out from behind a screen with a cardboard costume as a scarab.
You're just chasing around Tyler as Benny. Tyler's got a little fez on, just running away from
you. Just tickling him the whole time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I want to be.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a really great idea.
Yeah.
This has to happen.
That's cool.
All right, great. It'll happen.
The board gamers though, they had a giant Space Hulk game that I'm really mad that I wasn't able to play. Cool. It looked awesome. He did this thing where he did the tiles. I don't know if they I don't think they were the official tiles from the board game. because he played the expansion with the psychic powers added specifically. And he did the layout, like the grid map, however it is from the game, and then he lined it with like half walls of pipes, and it did so much for the immersion of the game. Like it looked like, oh, they're in a spaceship. Like you don't need full zone mortalis. Like these little pipes that went along the side of the card stock was perfect.
There was
that's neat to know.
Yeah.
There was a rank and file game right in the entrance.
That looks sick.
The Wars of Oz.
Oh, like Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
No shit, really?
Yeah. Bro, it was like a 16-foot table.
It was huge, and he had units from like the Wizard of Oz world of like
No
there were like
shit.
inflatable balloon like carriages in this like it was crazy.
Are you kidding me? That sounds awesome.
The
Every time I
scale
went
was
to-
weird though. It wasn't like 28.
I think for
it
his
smaller
demo
or
game,
bigger?
They look smaller.
it was
Okay.
like but it wasn't like 10 mil. It was like
It was like maybe like 15.
it was a little weird, and it was a little mixed because he did have some GW models on the second game I saw. But every time I got in there,
Space Marines?
Space Marines in Oz.
Say goodbye, Dorothy. Just a little orc buggy driving through, running over flying monkeys.
no, dude, it looked cool, and like that's the thing about those games. There was another one like in the back that was like a 12-foot by 8-foot table of just like a canvas world map.
Dude, it looked like Civilization, but like, dude, it was so.
It was
cool. It was
crazy.
a map of the world broken up into like sections, like almost like a Risk map.
Yeah.
But then there were like battleships, tanks,
It was everything.
planes. Like on each territory, they had like a bunch of units, and it's like they're moving them around and making them fight and shit. It was
That's
cool.
great.
And the guy has like a tome of just like a 3-ring binder worth of rules that he made, and like
Yeah, this is a homemade map.
Yeah.
This is a
Wow.
homemade game.
same with the Wars of Oz game. It's like that's what those cons are good for.
And that is cool.
yeah,
passion projects.
The problem
Yeah.
is it's just like you have to be signed up for it, and you have to like kind of base your whole day around stuff like that, and it's like you're really gambling with
the turnout or what's going to happen.
yeah,
and people
maybe
you're
that
gonna
game
play with.
sucks bad, and you're just you're in it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You
Listen.
roll those dice.
Absolutely, literally.
But I mean, I did demo Flames. I had ashcan copies of the game.
Yep.
There because I finished putting together the book. It's all done. I'm waiting on Eon to do edits. He said it should be in my hands before the 9th.
And you had some BattleTech head who came by and like stretched out his suspenders and said, "All right, there, young man."
I had a couple people do that.
That's great.
Guy comes around the corner, and I'm sitting on like the flame side of the booth. And he comes around the corner, and he looks me dead in the eye, and goes, "All right, let's see it. Let's see it, Mister. I'm better than BattleTech." And
BattleTech
I
killer.
literally just pointed to Steve, and I stood up and was like, "Here's your chair, sir."
But that was
He was a 20-year Catalyst Games judge.
yeah.
Whoa.
He worked for Catalyst,
cool.
like for BattleTech.
I think that's what it was.
But he is co-owner of We Met Ben, who owns a shop in Worcester. Or no, Haverhill. He owned a shop in Haverhill. I can't remember his game store. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He was stoked on Flames. He was stoked on the zines. He was
Oh,
stoked on
cool.
everything Brian had. He's like, dude, you ever want to come out to the store? Come out. We'll carry your game. We'll carry your zines. Whatever you want to do. We love
cool
this kind of
LGS.
stuff. Yes, very cool. In addition to him, we met Brendan from Crossroads, which is in Maine. He is also very cool. Another LGS
Yeah.
that like carries a lot of indie stuff. And he's like, their store's known for carrying indie stuff.
Very cool.
So
Where's Crossroads? You know, just somewhere in Maine.
I think it's like southern Maine.
I want to say it's Portland area, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't get all the details.
Yeah.
Both very nice guys. Ben was very nice, and so was Brennan.
Yeah. Google it, people.
But yeah, I can't remember the store in Haverhill. But Haverhill, Mass. If you look up game stores, I'm sure it's the only
Yeah.
one there.
Yeah.
There's probably two, and one of them is really bad.
Yeah.
But
It's
his
the
partner,
other one.
His partner came over and challenged. He said, "I want to see what's so good about this."
Yeah, all three people working that booth came over at different times and all bought a copy of Flames.
Yeah.
That's
and-
neat.
Yeah, we played. He saw it, and I could tell he has like the real chin scratcher. Like, oh
yeah.
yes, I'm being very strategic.
He was calling you out on your rolls.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, well, I have the thing that stops crits.
And I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize you had that.
Hold on there, buddy.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you just said this about that. And I'm like, oh, all right. You're following along. I have to play this as though you have no idea what you're talking about. Right. So, cool, good. I'm glad you're catching on.
Yeah, he was like so hard ass about it that like I expected him to stand up and go, all right, cool, thanks for showing it, and just walk away. And he stood up and he was like, yeah, how much is this? I'll buy one right now.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Oh shit! All right,
that's neat.
Yeah, it was very cool.
You got the stamp of approval.
Yeah, right. It was cool. I speed painted a whole table's worth of 10 millimeter.
It looks really cool.
Terrain. Yeah, all those sci-fi buildings. I bought those STLs. Really they were awesome. And now I'm like really pushing myself to start a board build for Adepticon, like a
mega city.
A mega city built into a piece of foam that is going to be. It's going to be the cover of Flames as a terrain piece.
Neat.
Like I haven't revealed what the cover looks like yet, but it's like that blown up cityscape with all that stuff going on. And I'm going to recreate that as like a terrain board.
Very cool.
But yeah, it was very cool. I didn't really get a lot of people over at my table, but that's fine. Next year I probably won't do it. But I saw so many people from ShireCon that they all came out to it. Like Tom, the guy who runs ShireCon, came over and we chatted for a while.
The guy runs ShireCon?
Yeah.
Oh shit. The guy I met, Tom?
Which one? There's two.
The one who
unless I'm getting his name wrong.
The BattleTech Arena, Tom.
No, that guy just is a BattleTech head, and he is the coolest.
That guy rocks.
He is so sick. Now you're making me second guess that ShireCon is ran by a guy named Tom, and now I'm feeling really stupid about it.
Well,
fuck.
His name's Tim. No,
that was a typo.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
You gotta put some more in there. No, a little lower. No, not volume wise. No.
Wow. It's pretty
good.
It
is Tom. I was right.
Yeah,
it is Tom.
Yeah. All right. So
anyway, but yeah, Tom was there. Tom rocks. He ran BattleTech. No one showed up, so he came over and played Flames. He's like, "This is awesome!" And then he bought a copy. So
that rocks.
Shout
BattleTech heads, they love it.
Yeah, they're lining up around the block.
Approval.
But the game, that's the other thing I was working on. I finalized Flames. Eon's working on the edit. And then a friend of ours is working on the artist, art design, art layout of the book. Art direction. Thank you for correcting it. That is their job title in their day-to-day. So should look awesome.
I think didn't you already thank this person in the last
episode?
I
probably did. Yeah, it was Dave Hoskins.
I
can't remember what I say. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You got to keep it quiet. You got to keep it secret.
No, I'm very excited that Dave wanted to be involved in the project. It was very surreal having like him be down to do it.
Oh, last time we were begging him. We
were begging him
to get it done in time, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be done in time, but I'll just do an Adepticon limited Ashcan, which sucks because I wanted the game to be done so badly, but time crunch,
Oh yeah. I will say, flipping through this final version, the final Ashcan, I think it's fine. I think it's ready.
Yeah.
I think that's totally okay.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
But there's been one other thing that you and I have been working on.
What other?
Well, Terry, all of us. And that is fixing the feng shui of the studio.
Yeah.
And then leading that into our personal hobby spaces, in which we talked about last episode.
But I actually did it. I actually set up my studio.
Yeah. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what it means and what's important. And then I have some of the patrons that have chimed in and other people that have chimed in about their hobby spaces and what's important.
Yeah. A lot of their answers honestly mirrored mine almost exactly. And it's good to see that everyone's kind of on the same page about it. Cause and like even here, I mean, I don't know how you want to jump this conversation off, but I figure we just talk about. Yeah, I mean,
what's important?
Well, you guys
in your hobby space.
What's important in mine?
Yeah.
All my tools easily accessible with a place where I know where they go.
Yes.
Like that is like number one. Like a space to put all of my tools and paints where I know where they are and I won't lose them or lose track of them. And like they can go back at the end of the session. Because I used to not put things away after and I would just have my desk be crazy. But now I'm trying to be much more methodical about like putting things back where they go. Everything has a spot. The new Bamboo 3D printer has been awesome for like 3D printing.
And you just have that in your space, right?
It's literally on my desk.
Oh,
I took my computer is not going back in my hobby room. Separate space. I do not want my computer in there because I always get distracted.
Totally.
I set up my MacBook in there, or my little laptop, because it's 12 years old and like it can't do anything but use the internet at this point. So that's great. I put on YouTube, just have it playing, and I just am hobbying.
Yes.
But tools, accessibility, the 5S system, like that goes like plenty of things out of there.
There's a reason it's world renowned.
I don't know if we've ever talked about 5S on the pod, though.
We definitely have.
Yeah, I think we definitely did. Because we talked about doing it in the studio, and then we never really did it. We tried. But now, we're getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
But then art. Yeah. Art in the space is like the next biggest thing because it makes you feel like it's yours.
It feels finished. It feels done. It feels like an area you want to hang out in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always think that because I don't particularly like clutter, like physical clutter, cluttering up a space. Actually, I really don't like clutter. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to beating around the bush here. However, art, like if you can fill like every inch of wall space that's not being used by shelves or storage with art, like that's always to me going to help out. I'll get inspiration from that, but otherwise it'll just like make me feel like it's a little hobby.
Yeah, it's more lived in. And you did that when we originally got into the studio because I think I was the loudest opposer, hater of this studio and space. And then you were like, listen, these posters, everything, just hang them up. We got to hang stuff on the walls. We got to get stuff on the walls.
Just the stuff in the entrance right there
makes so much. I literally walked in today, 2 hours ago, saw that, stopped and took a picture of the studio because I was like, this feels just fun and cool.
Yeah. I think that one of the...
With the art.
One of the biggest things is... You have to, this is something we're working on here, you have to purge enough that that a space doesn't feel cluttered.
Yes.
Even if everything doesn't have a home yet, it has to get to the point where you feel like everything could have a home.
Yes.
And then you can work towards that. You hang your tools up where they need to be, and then you can start slowly building. But if there's too much shit, it's so easy to get just like overwhelmed, and then just like a box of VHS tapes just ends up in the corner for 2 months because it's just like there's so much other shit we have to do. I can't get to that. And you just kind of chip away a little bit at a time, but a lot of it is just like you gotta throw shit out.
Yep.
And then the second big thing for me is lighting, dude. Like a space needs to be lit and lit well, especially and like here when you're gaming in a space and you're going to want to see models, like it can't just be, even in the old studio, just like fluorescent light fixtures above a board or like 10 feet away from a board where you're like trying to see what the hell's going on.
Right.
Lighting is super important.
I ran into this literally today working on my desk. I was cutting up that Ian Miller book, The Art of Ian Miller.
Which you're a psycho for doing that.
I love it. It's on Amazon for $30.
Yeah.
It sits on a shelf in my second floor, and I looked through it once, never again. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do something with this.
I respect it. You're a psycho, but I respect it.
No, that's awesome.
And I already put together like 3 prints and hung them up. So it's, it's getting its money worth. And I figured I'd bring some of them here. But I was working on my desk using the X-Acto knife, cutting out everything. And I'm like, I can't fucking see shit because I have an overhead like LED light in the ceiling. It's behind me.
It's casting your shadow.
It casts my shadow on my fucking desk. So I scrambled looking around. I found one of those like, remember the light bulb that was on a wire that hung in the old studio by the...
Yep.
I took that and I just like kind of hung it from a shelf in the room, and I just turn it on. I can't look up because it's so bright.
It'll hurt your eyes.
But I can see what I'm doing on my desk now.
Yes.
I got to get a light. I got to get a nice light for it.
Void Halation Dylan is screaming right now about diffusers, and you need to diffuse your light properly.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool if I didn't just have like a weird wired light pulled on.
But when we first came in here, it was just 2 fluorescent light fixtures.
Yep.
And I remember it was like, I don't know, maybe we were here for a month or a couple of weeks, and I came in and you were like, I don't know, man, this place just doesn't feel like, home. And I was like, well, let's just, we call it Evan Monsma or Monsmaying. If you don't know this YouTube channel, he rocks. But
I cannot understate how much, or I cannot overstate how much this man's ideologies and philosophies have changed the mindset of Hive Scum as a operation.
Yeah.
Every one of us is just like, we need a coat rack. Boom, blast it
a coat
together.
rack.
You make one out of a 2x4 and some pegs.
Fucking the making something out of garbage just to make it usable is still more important than getting.
Dude,
shit
I did
off
it.
the
I
floor.
did it in my studio at home. I knew I wanted my spray booth at the window.
Yeah.
I looked for a week, tried to find a piece of furniture at like Goodwill, whatever, to like fit in that spot. Couldn't find anything. And I said, fuck it. I have a piece of plywood in the garage. I built a fucking shelf with like little cubbies, and it lives right there. You open it up. It's at the window. You just open the window, spray, close the window, all done.
Good to go.
Yeah. If you guys don't know this guy, Evan Monsma on YouTube, I was been watching him for a long time, and then randomly one day blew my mind. He did the video.
Adepticon thing?
He did an Adepticon video with Miscast. This dude is not hobby related at all. I mean, he just
made
makes
it
weird
is
now.
shit.
An
Yeah.
injection mold machine out of a Harbor Freight drill press. Or just a regular press.
Were you watching him before that video?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
So
I was
you didn't
sending-
even get to see your YouTube legend. You didn't even get to meet him.
I know,
and he
right?
was there.
The end of the video, Steve's there at like 2 a.m. You can tell you have bags under your eyes and you're looking at something. You're like, oh, cool.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Am I in the video?
This rock.
That's really funny.
But anyways, go back to where we were. I came in and I was like, dude, let's just hang everything that lights up that we have right now all over the place.
Yep.
And we did that. We hung up like a random light that shout out Dylan gave us. And one of the light bulbs is broken, but we were like, fuck it. We just figured it out and just drilled it right into the giant beam that goes across the top.
Yep.
And then we were just hanging work lights up. And even just those 3 lights being hung up, because that's all we had around,
It's still added.
it added so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we have like more lights that we can hang up, and
Yep.
it's just the better lit a space can get, the more it'll feel like, oh, okay, this is like a spot that I want to hang out in, and it's not
Right.
just a dungeon.
Right. I think a lot of it, the 5S mentality of like me kind of keeping that through every job, like professionally and in the studio, which those that don't know, the 5S system,
Thank you.
sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain.
And the big ones they're all pretty big, but like,
They all feed into each other.
but that first one is a major step.
Yes. So sort and standardize are arguably the most important ones.
Yeah.
And sorting your stuff, and Evan Monsma, once again, shout out, he makes a great point that anything that is like a staple in your space, like whether it be a tool rack, whether it be snips, anything that you're using regularly, it has to be standardized. It has to be in a spot, but he hard mounts everything.
Yeah.
So he always knows where his light switch is. He always knows where he's going to grab his tools. Everything is in these areas that he knows are going to be there because they are hard mounted or they are in a shelf that physically cannot move because he's locked it in with other pieces of things. And in the studio, getting everything off the floor and then getting things where it was like, okay, we're going to make it the least amount of steps possible to get to the bits bin because that is the most used thing in here. Or we're going to make it the least amount of space possible to get to the computer from this area. The stuff you use the most, make it accessible.
Yeah.
It sounds so crazy to like say these like things out loud, but it's like, no, at home, I had my hobby desk. I had everything nice and to the side because my nice little area where I was actually hobbying would look better if I put my paints directly in front of me and everything was right there. I use 3 colors. I don't need 17 technical paints within an inch of me. It's like, no, those can fuck off. And all the basing material that I need, that can go right there. It's just little stuff like that that really changes the flow, especially when you have that, holy shit, I need to bash a model right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to make something super fast. You can do it.
Yeah, and you want to take all of the unnecessary steps that might... It's like putting your running shoes out if you want to start running. And
Yeah, literally.
like, I
it is
wanna put
literally
my
that
running shoes
thinking.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and then another part about sort too is like going through all of your shit and being like, what don't I need? So
Yes.
I'm not like digging through 3 pounds of coconut fiber.
That's your sustain.
to get to. Yeah.
Sustain,
okay.
I would argue, is the most important one because if you don't sustain, then all the
whole
other
thing
S's
falls
go
apart.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the beauty of the system is a circle because all of them feed into the next.
Yeah, and listeners, like, you should dig into this system a little bit. Like, Toyota bases its entire manufacturing plant based on this, so we can't go too deep into all of it. But
Yeah. I mean, most manufacturing facilities use this ideology. I taught it professionally for jobs. So if it's good enough for Raytheon, it's good enough for your hobby space.
Yeah. Put that on a t-shirt. No, and then I've been like in the space too. It's like I want to eventually, once we clear out enough shit and stuff, I'd love to do like a tool wall and shit like that. So the same thing. It's like you do need scissors. They're right there. You know, you do need that heat gun is already there and it's ready to just be plugged in.
Number one thing that all of us are like, where the fuck did we leave that?
Where's the heat gun?
Heat gun
we have all the tools in a Husky box that looks like every other Husky box.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so figuring that out, making sure that there's somewhere that snips go would be really nice. That would be so much fun.
We need to get snips.
I'm gonna be real. I think we need some kind of pegboard immediately. I think that's got to be the first thing we do.
I agree. That's the one thing that we are really lacking in here. And
if we get one, I'll print all the hangers. I printed so many today for like snips individually going up, like all the little hardwire mounts, like you were saying. I did it in my studio to help. Like, oh, it's not in a drawer. It's not in this weird little bucket. It's on the shelf right in front of me. I know where it goes.
Yeah. One of the things that I just kind of took from, I think it's Christoph Kyle, actually. I've been calling him Christoph Kiel forever. Mm-hmm. But, you know, they made that Art of book.
Yep.
And so in the Art of book, I think it's number 2 or something like that, there's a picture of his hobby desk, and then he just has like above the hobby desk, it almost looks like those Dewey Decimal, like it's like libraries, like drawers. You know, there's just tons of drawers. You know, and so something I wanted to do when I moved all of my hobby shit out of one room in my house, and then moved that into the garage. It was a bigger space. However, I wanted it to be like organized, and I found that the power of shelving, built-in shelving, to me, was probably the biggest game changer for a hobby space.
Yeah.
So instead of putting shit on bookshelves or getting whatever I could and then just like finding space for things and inevitably it ends up on the floor, or it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to shove this tote underneath this table or something like that. Getting it so there's shelves and you have that, you know, all of that like vertical storage space, and then you make the shelves big enough that they can just kind of hold what you need them to hold. And then you can just pull those things down.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you have like little drawers, and like those little drawers are organized. It just makes such a difference.
This is for bases.
Yeah.
This is for flocking. Yeah.
And then you know where everything is. But it's like, if you don't get your storage on lock, that shit just, it bleeds out, man.
Yes.
And
It's happening
everywhere.
here right now.
Yeah.
And a part of it too is, you know, we're human. We have different schedules. We're
Totally.
everything's changing. You need to have a good drop area.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna come in to the space. I have a handful of shit. I just need to leave this out on the table for right now.
Yeah.
The problem is, once that drop area becomes semi-permanent, once you have, okay, like the studio, for instance, you come in and we kind of plop all our shit down. Oh, I brought this from home. I think it's usable. Okay, cool. Oh, that's awesome, Terry. Cool. Thanks so much. You put it over here too. Oh, we're going to go play a game. Oh, we got to record an episode. Oh, we're leaving now. Those two things that we plop down now won't move for 3 weeks.
Or Steve will come in and it's something that Gage and I were talking about, and Steve is like, well, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this here? I want to use this space. I don't know what this is.
Literally what I did to Paul the other day. Although, to be fair, I think it was one of you that said, just throw all those all the trees on the table.
Yeah. The table was already shit, so you throwing more shit on it isn't going to do anything. But yes, and that's the thing. It's having this drop area where it's an area where you can put things for the moment.
Yeah.
Allowing it to bleed into other areas or bleed into now your work area if your drop area is your work area.
Yeah.
Because not everyone has a studio. We are very cognizant of that, But
even if you have a hobby desk, you probably still need an area on that hobby desk or near that hobby desk where it's like, you know, I brought home 2 totes of Nemo terrain, unfinished Nemo terrain to put up in my attic. I'm not going up in my attic at 10 o'clock at night. So that shit is just living in my hobby space.
And it's there for a week.
Probably until this weekend.
Yeah.
And so you need a spot where that's going to sit, and it's not going to be in my way or somebody else's way, in our case of the studio here. Yeah. And so that's a good idea. I actually never even thought about that.
I think we have that table next to where our computer is. And it's
That's the drop area.
That's the drop area.
No, And
then it's just like once a week or whenever it's like the weekend and you got time, you just go through that and you just go, okay, I'm going to put away all this stuff back. Yep. And I think that's where it's nice to be working with you two guys who are kind of on the same page, where all of us want a nice clean workspace. And I think that like, I know there are so many listeners right now that have the crazy desks that people will post on in Rust We Trust, where they have like a Coke Zero can size imprint where they can actually work in, and the rest of their table is just like bits and super glue that's
everywhere. That's how my table used to be.
And I think that's great if you can work like that. I think that it's great. I think it's just great. However, I need to like put things away when I'm done with it.
To be fair,
so I can come back and use it.
People with that mindset, because I am very much that type personality where it's just like, I have a sea of hoarding garbage on my desk and I can exist in this way.
Yeah.
They still are following the system in their own way. Oh, shit on the left side, those are projects I'm going to get to.
Yeah, that's their storage.
Shit on the right side is, that pile is like, those are bits that I want to use for sci-fi stuff, and all the glue I also keep over there. So it is still a method. The way to make it more efficient and more better for your time and your mental health is to follow this ideology.
I feel and like, you're saying that, and I understand having a bunch of shit out, because then you can be inspired by the shit you already have out. And sometimes if you're putting things away, it's like, oh, I forgot about this. Where if it was just staring me at the face, I'd be like, I'm going to snip this head off and use this thing for that model that I wanted.
I think it's the same thing as like Bitspin chaos mode like we have, or like divvying stuff up by all the legs go in here. It's like the same kind of thing.
The difference though is if we had the Bitspin just living on a table forever, and
that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, we had like a little one of those like things that they have at the library that's just like
the play place.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. There's just like walls. It's like a foosball table, but it's just filled with bits. That makes more sense.
Maybe we should have one of those.
That would be really neat.
It would be sick, and it would follow all of the tenants if we just put a topper on it, so we could still use the table after.
It'd be really cool.
We're on to something.
Yeah.
We're on to something.
Yeah, I just think that like a space ultimately, and what's his face, Adam Savage, he says this shit all the time, where it's like the workspace directly.
Look at his fucking workshop.
Yeah, I know. He's a great example of somebody who has like organized chaos to the
4,000 tools per wall.
Yeah.
But he knows where every single one of them is.
Totally. And he will say like a workshop is the direct reflection of a owner's personality or their philosophy, their work philosophy, I think he says. And I love that idea, because it's like, there are people that can kind of thrive in chaos and they sort of grabbing and pushing and pulling, and like that's how they work. But I'm happy to be with you two guys that kind of are on the same page, at least, where it's like, if you're working collaboratively, you kind of need you need like a little bit of a system.
Yes. Yeah.
And that system doesn't need to be like a joy kill,
No.
And whatever your system is doesn't need to be a joy kill to you personally either. But.
And the most important thing that would always, when I would go and fail these different areas in my past life, is yes, you can adopt a system like this, and you can absolutely, I'm going to organize every single step, and I'm going to do every single thing by the book. If none of it is easy and accessible, it doesn't matter. It's actually going to make it harder, and you're going to want to do things less than if you just left all the garbage on the floor.
Totally.
You have to make it a system that you're actually earnestly trying. If you know, this Bitspin is something that has to be chaos, and it has to be in a bin, still make it close by. It can still be chaos. It just
should be close by.
Yeah, it should be close by. All these things that you do use have to be in a system that actually makes sense. Don't just organize for the sake of organizing, because then at that point it's just storage. It's not usable.
That's something that I'm not always great about, is reassessing. Like even you just being like, I don't use all these texture pastes. Why do I have them everywhere?
I sound just like that.
I was like, holy shit, I have all those texture pastes on my table and I never use them. I'm bad at reassessing sometimes, and just like taking a look at my space and being like, oh, I don't need, I haven't used a metallic in 2 years.
Yeah.
I still have the metallics sitting right out there in front of me.
Yeah.
Sitting right there. I could just pick them up and use them, but I haven't in 2 years. So why the fuck are they still on my hobby desk in fingers reach.
That's the thing, you know?
I never even think about that. I have to reassess now, dude.
Yeah.
Gage, thanks, buddy.
I gotta get rid of my. I was looking through my bins today, and like I have all those pro acrylic paints, all these different colors. It's like I'm never gonna use these colors. I use like the same 10 colors for every paint job I do on any given army,
which is a good problem to have because then you could just order that paint,
yes,
and be like, I have that now.
Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, and
might
that
become community paint.
That's kind of the thing too with an open area or like things like a shared space or like I'm trying not to dox all the different areas that I worked in, but like if you're in an area that has multiple assembly areas, such as like the Hive Scum studio or even your own studio, let's use yours for example, Steve. If you have these paints, just because you're not using them doesn't mean that they're not useful. You will eventually use those colors. Well, okay, you know. Us grimdark guys, you know, can only use the six colors.
Bright blues here.
Yeah. But to be said, like you can still store those. They just don't have to be in your eyes,
in immediate reach. They can go in a drawer together somewhere.
Exactly. So stuff like that is it doesn't mean okay if I have to organize now I have to throw everything away because I've never used a metallic paint. It's like no, that can just go in a different area.
Totally.
Yeah,
it'll come up. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard part about this hobby is you don't know what you might get into later.
Right.
But you also don't want to be a hoarder and keep everything.
I've been having the insane thought of, for your campaign, I'm going to play Ultramarines. So, and then I'm thinking like all the Space Marines that I'm just like, I don't need that. And I just like throw it out a window. Like
that. I mean, that's the thing though, especially with something like this hobby where it's very similar to like some of the machine shops I've worked in, where it's like, okay, yeah, we haven't done this process in 2 years, but we still have the job. It could still happen.
Yeah.
With the hobby, at any moment, Steve's going to make Grimdark Tau.
Any moment.
At any moment.
Ooh. It's a fuse sizzling in the background of his mind.
But because of that, and that mentality that most people share, yes, you want to keep these cool models. You want to keep the cool blue paint. You want to keep the metallic paint. You want to keep it all out. That's fine. The thing is, it's like if someone comes in to 5S your space or you're doing it yourself, you're taking the initiative, it doesn't mean you have to throw away. It just means doing it smarter.
Totally.
Because there's nothing wrong with having a big pile of shame if you'll get to it eventually. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yes, it's funny to post about it on YouTube and whatever. Sure, get those clicks, but it's not a thing to feel bad about if you have a nice way of storing it and getting it out of your way.
Something I've been trying to do too is like I've talked about splitting my time up into Pomodoros before, 25-minute chunks. And it's become even more important as I've gotten, like, now I have a kid.
Yeah.
My time is so limited at the end of the night and so crunched. And it's like I still want to, like, work out a little bit.
Right,
and I still want to, like, paint a little bit. And I also am in grad school, so I still have to do homework a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to, like, chunk up everything. But I want to incorporate 25 minutes of just, like, maintenance time. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even need to be 25 minutes. 15 minutes is a long-ass time if you ever put the timer on.
That's your shine.
Exactly. And I think like that's when I would kind of realize like, oh, what if I put this way up on top? I never use this. And then I've been looking for a space for this other thing I do use all the time. And like now I could switch those things around. And just taking 15 minutes to like look over your space and realize like, why is my Martian iron earth here when I haven't used it in 3 years? Like, maybe I should put that with the basing material instead.
And the first like 3 times you do it, it'll be that 15.
Yeah.
And then after that, it'll be 10.
Exactly.
And then it'll be 5 because you've got down the method of where everything goes. You know where everything is.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. I thought you just fell over
and died.
We hung up the electrical panel wall that Phil knocked over, and it's still just so janky.
Oh, it's awful. But
don't knock it over, Steve, and hurt yourself. Oof. But yeah, I don't know. Studio spaces are, I think, like, you know, everybody needs a room of their own. You know, everybody needs a spot where they can work. And I think that thinking about your spot, finding some sort of organization methodology is a good idea. Finding somebody like Monzma who can like make shit out of nothing to solve any sort of problem you have, and it kind of frees your mind up to just like Steve does, be like, I'm going to just throw some shit together and it's going to be the perfect thing to fit into my space.
Yep.
I think all of these things are just so important.
And he's a perfect example too, which I mean, not to just like to do a whole shout out episode on this guy, but his videos, if you watch them, he's not living like an industrial gray, like brutalist style studio. He has a spot for every single thing in his studio, but it still has so much character, so much personality, and it looks fucking chaotic as hell.
He's spray painting all his tools inside and like just doing crazy shit all the time.
But a perfect example, everything is in a spot where it needs to be. Everything is accessible. Everything makes sense to him, and that is what is important.
Totally. Now you know everything about setting up your hobby space.
Yeah, and you all owe me $2,000.
Go forth and prosper. We were talking about maybe doing a little. Wait. We were talking about.
Do it to.
What?
Oh fuck.
Wait, do it to what?
I was gonna say do it to Steve.
Why me?
We were doing a little bit of a.
What? Oh,
we were doing
questions from the hive.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
But I really have to pee.
I also have to pee.
Okay, pee break. Cut it. There's 2 pissers.
3 hours later.
Let's see what else we got in here. Spring. What are we talking about with spring? Spring sounds bad. Flange sounds cool though.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
That sounds like what's his name? Something Potion Castle.
Oh, Long Mountain Potion Castle.
Oh fuck.
Hey.
Hello.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Questions. Now that Steven and I are back from the bathroom,
Yes.
do you ever go into a bathroom and wonder if there's a camera in the ductwork above you?
I always do.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I do that too.
I always wonder. And then I go, whatever.
You
Take a peek, you sick fucks.
You can get my pee on there if you
Yeah.
want. Okay. First question. Question from Elder Moss 3. The perfect question to ever ask, and they've definitely asked it before. What music have you been listening to lately?
God damn.
What have I been listening to a lot lately? Dude, I went down a hole the other day listening to like shitty dad rock.
Yeah.
Like, for a full day. Like Creed, Nickelback.
Listen.
What else is
You
in
just
there?
that new Godsmack, the remastered
No.
Godsmack? It's...
Never.
You would think that the production value of something would be a lot better than like on that, but...
I kind of like that it'd be bad.
No, I mean, it's recorded very well, but like... It's still Godsmack.
Yeah. That's one that like doesn't hit. But
Yeah,
Stained rocks.
You're more on like the heroin, go out for smokes and never come back side of
Yeah,
dad rock.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, there's some Alice in Chains, like nutshells in there, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Not the domestic abuse side.
What's the domestic abuse side?
You get your Godsmack. You get your
like
your
saliva.
Mudvayne.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's a little too hard.
Okay, that's fair. I get
It's
it.
like the softer side of it.
Yeah, I get it. What about you, Terry?
Oh, I'm going through my recent listens on the
Nothing
old...
crazy, dude. Come on. Patrons don't need to see your whole shit, dude.
Well, I don't know, dude. I've been listening to that Muslim Gauze album that we were talking about.
Oh, you know why I linked that?
Why?
Because the guy at Collapse Skull was wearing a hoodie for it. And I was like,
No
I've never
way.
seen Muslim Gauze merch. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, you know.
It's homemade.
I'm sure
maybe.
it is. Yeah.
Oh, Cactow Twins too. That Heaven or Las Vegas album, perfect record.
Oh, yeah, baby. I've been listening to Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
You know Kool and the Gang.
Yeah, I know. Cool.
It's ladies' night. Yeah, Goldie really likes Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
So she's always doing some dancing and stuff. You know, got to keep the baby happy.
Yeah.
And been listening to Curtis Mayfield, also a funk guy. A lot of funk in the mix
funk.
these
That's
days.
cool.
I have no idea why.
I've been on a crunchy black metal kick. Like I put Mortal Radio on the other day, and then while I was cleaning, I kept I purposely will try and change what gets recommended to me.
Okay.
And I kept hearing this one band come up, and I'm like, it has this very distinct sound, and every time I was like not able to get to my phone to see what was playing.
Oh, good.
And then when I went through it again, all three of the ones that I was like, what the fuck is this? It's Gehenna. And that was a band that I've never really...
I don't think
I would see it and I would go, okay, yeah, it's a black metal band. I'll get there. But dude, something about it, the sound has really been...
Maybe that's why they're so big.
You know? I was gonna say, I don't know. I just know that they're really big, and then I've always gone like, man, I don't know.
Like big for that
20K monthly listeners.
You know?
Yeah, that's bigger.
Yeah.
Not an album since 2013 though. Rest in peace.
Oh, hey, then I can listen to them.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
checks out on the 10-year mark.
I was listening to Gallhammer the other day. We were talking about Gallhammer, just like all Japanese women in a black metal band.
It's cool
that they're like trying to sound like. I mean, I don't know. I guess I was reading about it. It's like trying to sound like Emperor and Celtic Frost, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like it at all. In my opinion, it sounds like something totally different, which is way more interesting. And I remember, like I think we were talking about this. I remember like riding bikes 10 years ago and just like loving this album, and I haven't listened to it since then. It's a good album. Check it out. Whatever the third album is, I think.
That's fine. That's all people need to know.
Have you ever seen that Celtic Frost animated video?
No.
You should go watch it because it's fucking sick.
Perhaps I will.
You should. There's a bunch of dudes like getting slaughtered with like swords and stuff.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
It's really cool.
I like that.
Out of context. There's a bunch of people getting slaughtered by swords. Oh, that's cool.
Neato.
Fun. It's like a battle scene, a bunch of guys in robes just like with swords.
Ugh. It's nothing but cool. Bathrobes and swords.
Yeah.
Next question from Nico.
The best.
List everyone in the hobby who is cool and everyone who is lame. First and last names.
Go get Steve started here. Are we talking cool right now?
We're talking cool.
No, dude.
Nico, Paulie Mordheim.
Yeah.
Dark Tyler.
Okay.
Big Boy Game Time.
Okay.
Shane.
Yep.
The Blind Man.
Yep.
Who else is cool?
There's so many cool people. There's
I know.
so many
cool.
people.
All right, who's not cool? Gage, you go first.
Okay. Me and Terry.
Yay.
That's it.
Now I'm going to say things like
no. Beep. All right. So next question. Ex Obscurus. Where did the name Under the Dice come from?
Ooh. Oh, wait. We know this.
Yeah, I mean, you like Hatebreed? Because that's where it came from.
And is there anything underneath that die?
What do you mean?
A monkey.
Oh, like it's the monkey from from the cover.
That's such a dark answer.
You pick up the big dice and there's just a monkey
trap. Oh, the monkey died again.
Oh shit. 50 Shades of Trey asks, what is a game you have no interest in playing?
Ooh, this is
Warhammer.
a cool question.
I'll tell you all right now. Trench Crusade.
Oh yeah, that was a given.
I'll say it.
Wow.
It feels not special enough for me.
Wow, you didn't throw your money into that $6 million pool?
No.
Oh.
Seems a little corporate for me.
It's
wow.
I'll play it. I'm sure it plays fine. I don't know, man. Something about it. We've kind of talked about it in Shadows every now and then. You don't know who's on the...
Listen, I respect anyone that wants to play the game that they want to play. That's cool. Like Trench Crusade.
Games are good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Playing games is awesome. You're doing it anyway.
There is a pedigree there of people that worked on this game. The art was curated for it. It's grimdark in the indie scene, but it's not indie because it made $6 million fucking dollars.
I mean,
it's getting eyes on the other side of the hobby, the Blanchitsu side. I think that's all really cool.
I think that's cool.
But I just there's something about it. I just don't really want to play.
There's also a wave of. I mean, this is going to happen, right? But there's a wave of people coming out, and they're like, "Oh, have you seen the first ever indie game ever to be indie ever? Trench Crusade." And it's just like, nope.
Somebody's got to be here to hold the gate closed.
And it's going to be me.
It's going to be us. The game that I don't have any interest in playing is Candy Crush. No interest.
You've never played
any phone game.
No interest in Candy Crush or Farmville.
What about Bejeweled?
No matter how many invites you
Zuma?
Zuma? I will play Sudoku.
How about The Sims?
Oh, you ever play The Sims? Terry's a motherfucker.
He's a Simaholic.
Locks him in the pool and deletes
deletes I'm going to put him in a kitchen, take all the doors away so they set themselves on fire.
Let me watch. Let me lean back in my chair and crack my fingers and just kind of watch it all happen.
Terry the sick motherfucker. Sicko. Mutineer Hobby asks, is Phil doing okay?
Yeah, he's strong as frick.
He's
doing great.
You should see this
300.
guy. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to do the podcast anymore.
That's it.
Yeah, he's stoked.
He lifted me up last time. And it was beautiful.
Did he?
And he gave me a kiss.
I don't think any of that happened.
Yeah, sorry, that was my dream. Sometimes it's hard to.
Phil still comes out. He games. He's playing OPR now.
He's all the time. He's here all the time.
Yes, we see Phil often. He's doing great. We love Phil. Phil loves us. Will Von Doom asks, any exclusive stuff from you folks for sale at Adepticon? The plan, I think, the exclusive is for us to unveil a new logo on a camo shirt. And that's probably the only exclusive.
Except for my zine.
I mean, if I get those mechs, if I can get those mechs touched up and stuff, I will have those, and I don't think I'll sell those again after Adepticon.
So you can get some
Flames of Orion stuff.
Yeah, I got a mech you could touch up right here, pal.
Yeah.
Pied Pewter Piper asks, if your sexual energy was described as a baked confection, what sweet treat are you?
The cookie from Ohio that he always brings me whenever he comes and visits.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm more of a bear claw.
Ooh.
I'm saying, JB.
Okay, I'm more of like a Keebler elf.
Oh, I think a bear claw and a Keebler elf would get together real good.
Yeah, take with that what you will.
Yeah. Dip us both in a hot cup of Joe.
Rouge Rat asks, what feels better, burping or farting?
Oh, it depends.
Gage, I should say that Gage came into this saying, dude, all of the questions are awesome and they're all really good. And then he goes, what feels better, burping or farting?
Here's
but the answer is farting.
He farts all the time.
Maybe burping, actually. Never
Here's
mind.
a little tip
good burp
for podcasters out there. Trick your friends and tell them that all the things you're doing are great, and then just don't do that and do other things, such as asking questions about burping or farting. Forefall asks, at what point does a simplified game become too simple?
Ooh,
I don't know.
we talked about
fucking
this.
sick.
Dude, honestly, it depends on how much I feel like imagination you could put into it. I could just tell a story in my head. Yeah. I don't need any game system. I could just start just going off.
Dude, we wrote a game at the convention.
We wrote a game at the convention, and to Steve's point, Dark Fort is such a sick game, and it really only shows you draw a shape and then roll on a chart of small monster or big monster. There's like nothing really to that game.
I'm working on a Dark Fort hack right now. We were talking about Diablo a bunch, and I was like, I'm gonna make a loot table. I'm gonna add some shit to Dark Fort.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
fun games, no rules.
I think for me, if a game has no narrative option, it is too simple for me.
I hear that. Yeah.
I can
chess.
Yes, I fucking despise chess. I hate chess.
Wow.
It is so boring to me.
Tzu.
No, I'm not, and I don't care to be. It does not have anything to scratch in my brain. It just feels so like a puzzle. That's not fun.
I hear
you know what I mean? I'm not playing a puzzle game. I'm not playing puzzles and going, why is there no narrative to me making this puzzle about a landscape?
Yeah.
So narrative is really what drives it for me for simplicity. I don't think it's not like there's a mechanic that feels simple or stupid.
I feel like I joke around about like 4-up gaming. I feel like if it was all 4-up, I think I'd be kind of sick of it.
If there was a story, do you think the 4-up would be better?
No, if there was a story, dude. Like I said, I could tell a story all day. I could sit around with you guys and just go like, oh, I'm Bobby the dog, and Bobby the dog loves to go swimming in his little pool. And you could tell some other story about something. Yeah. You could be like, well, I'm Bobby's best friend,
not fun.
Charles.
I want to roll dice.
Oh, see, I could just play this shit in my head all day.
So you need a physical component or else it's too simple?
Or like a card mechanic or like even a deck of cards. And it's like, oh, odds, I win, evens, you win. Like,
evens, you lose.
Because like even when me and my brother used to play fucking Lord of the Rings at my house, like it was like, oh, you hit on a 4-up. Oh,
yeah,
you save on a 5-up.
Yeah,
and that was was playing Lord of the Rings,
right?
Yeah.
Helm's Deep.
Now, do you think if you and I did that, it would be the same?
We would have so much fun.
Okay.
If I had a sea of 200 orcs and you had a fucking battalion,
and we only played 4s and 5s,
yeah, we'd have fucking fun. Because then we would make up other rules on the fly, like, oh, my orc's running down the thing, and if he gets there.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It has to be only 4s and 5s.
No. I'm saying, okay, this orc over here, he's going to get to the wall. He rolls a 4, the wall blows up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, now we're in there. He's the guy with the bombs.
That's narrative. So that's,
yeah.
I don't know.
Narrative.
Because I think any game, you need a reason to be playing.
I played an RPG. I cannot remember the name. I played an RPG where it was like a cliff climbing game, or I don't remember what it was, dude. It was so long ago, but it was just the rules were literally hold your friend's hands.
I like this game.
One person puts their hands on top, one person puts their hands on the bottom, and the person on the bottom just sits there. This is turning so sexual.
I was going to say, this is a great game.
It's not a sexual innuendo, I promise.
Dude, did he teach you this game?
Did you guys just sit in his room and play in the dark?
I got a really cool game. It's called Cliffclimber.
Yeah. Let's go camping type shit. No. So the person on top would hold their wrists, and they would lean backwards. Okay. And you would slowly let go.
Can we play right now? Here,
I love Cliffclimber, dude.
Let's play right now.
Okay, so no, I'm the bottom. So I stay still. Okay.
So what do I do?
Now hold my wrists. Okay. Now you're supposed to close your eyes, and the more fucked up thing is, yes, you should have the lights off, but now you're supposed to lean back, and there, I forgot what the narrative prompt was, but you're falling off a cliff, and each time you're supposed to let go of your grip a little bit, or let go of your grip a little bit. So you would get to like a narrative prompt of you falling off the cliff.
And you let me fall.
But yeah, there's I don't remember shit about this game, and now
this game sucks.
Can't think of anything other than just top and bottoming. But
no, it's amazing. This game sounds like a really
It's a real hoot.
I think at Under the Dice, I'm gonna play this game with somebody.
Terry's gonna run it in the downstairs room. That
anybody who with
all
the lights go off.
What was the game last year?
Cliffhanger.
Club was the game last year.
Club.
I don't even know about this.
It was we came up with it so you'd go into the closet and there was just a club and you beat the fuck out of someone that came in the closet.
One club.
And I remember TJ was like, I really wanted to play club this year. That'll be the game this year,
dude.
Cliffhanger, dude.
Is it Cliffhanger or Cliffclimber?
Dude, whatever you want
really
at this point,
cute.
dude.
Cliffclimber.
You got Cliffclimber.
Oh my gosh,
All right, we got time for one last one.
Okay, two. Let's just do
what are they? What are they?
Czar Makes Art.
Shout out.
Asks, what's the largest mini that you think you could eat fully with no leftovers?
Like where I chew it?
However,
a mini?
Yeah.
And you can chew it.
What's the largest mini?
You can eat it. You can.
It's got to be like soft plastic resin, so I could actually chew it.
I think I could eat my Castle Head mini.
I don't think you could do that. Your teeth would break.
It's mostly paper mache.
Yeah, but the plastic castle is really hard.
Well, I'll chew harder.
I don't think you can.
I don't know. This is a tough.
I might just eat a pile of lead.
Yeah,
like old lead models. See what happens.
Yeah,
lead's soft.
What do you think's harder, like cured green stuff, or?
Ooh,
I could eat that Great and Clean one that Trent gave us.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big mini.
Yeah, that's a pretty big mini.
I'll eat a Primaris Space Marine.
Just one?
Just one.
Wow,
that's all I want.
It's a snack.
That's me. It's just a little treat. I'll eat a Primaris.
All right, what's this last question?
He's hunting.
I thought you had it lined up.
I did. I just lost it. Fuck.
Just pick a random question. What do you guys like? What kind of cake do you like for your birthday?
A question from South of Heaven is, what kind of cake do you like for your birthday?
Carrot. Oh, carrot's good.
Yeah, carrot's really good.
I feel like carrot's a very underrated birthday cake.
Carrot cake rocks.
Birthday cake.
What do you like?
When I could eat it, I really liked a real fake buttercream frosting.
Oh, fuck yeah.
On just like a vanilla.
Yeah.
But now, I don't know. I'm a chocolate on chocolate guy.
Yeah.
I really like, I only have it once in a blue moon, yellow cake, the yellow cake with chocolate frosting. But my go-to, Funfetti cream cheese frosting. Ooh. Just remember that for next month, everyone.
Ooh.
Nothing after a nice long game of Cliffclimber, like a nice slice of Funfetti. Thanks for checking out this episode of Hive Scum. If you aren't already part of the community, check us out at the In Rust We Trust Discord, which you can find down in the description below. If you have questions you'd like to ask us, you can find our Instagrams down below as well. or feel free to ask away on the Discord. We also have plenty of extra content and other perks available to our patrons on Patreon. So if you're interested in helping us keep doing what we're doing, then you can find that description below as well. Until next time, folks, keep it grimdark and keep it grimy. Peace.